Welcome to Underneath the City Lights with Eddie Dynamite. Eddie Dynamite, aka Ed Bradley of the street. You know what I'm talking about. And we coming
For
live,
sure.
man. You know what I'm saying? It's the live show, baby. We back. And I got a very, very good one. You know, we always coming with that information, coming with the real, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got the music
For sure.
podcast on the other side. Make sure y'all check out the produce department when y'all get a chance. You know what I'm saying? This show right here, you know, we mobile, we speaking to brothers, man, from everything, you know what I'm saying, from under them city lights, man, from history, goddamn, to the streets, to everything, man. You know what I'm saying? This right here where it's all about. But taking it from the top, man, we gonna kick it real, man. You know, from the echoing corridors of childhood curiosity to the vast frontiers of metaphysical exploration. Tonight's guest is no ordinary traveler. He is Sci-Fi Dre, a seeker who has bridged the unseen currents of energy as a holistic healer, built empires as a serial entrepreneur, and massively mentors minds in the mysteries of quantum consciousness. Join me as we journey into the heart of his story, a tale of cosmic calling, earthly grit, and unyielding innovation. Welcome to the show, Sci-Fi Dre.
Peace, love. Peace, love, and light, man. Peace, love,
Love
and
and
light.
light, man. What's up,
Much
brother, man?
blessings.
Man, so
Man,
good
good.
to have you, man. How you
Hey, it's
been,
good to
brother?
be here. Good to be here, man. Good, good.
Hey,
I
Dre,
can't
you know,
complain.
you know, I know you, but give us get a family little bio, man. Tell them a little bit about yourself, man.
Hey, well, born and raised South Carolina, Berkeley County, Charleston area. Mom's going to be exact. Um, Even though I left about 25 years ago, but I can tell you this, man. South Carolina gonna always be home. I take it everywhere I go. Nothing changed. I still rep it. So, hey, but just had to drop a little jewel, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling the brother Eddie, it's a blessing to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be able to share light, share some blessings and share experience. You know what I'm saying? Life will teach you everything you need to know. You're not gonna always find the answers in books. You're not gonna always find answers in reading. You know, um, the true answer relies within yourself. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You have to be first a seeker within yourself and let the spirit within yourself guide you to things that you need to know and take you on your journey to this dimension, into this worldly timely manner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure, it's definitely a blessing to be here.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. So, Dre, man, we gonna get right into the meat and the potatoes, man. So, I'm gonna start from the most important thing that I feel. I'm gonna say, the health of the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And from the top, man. I mean, you know, we we seeing people declining a little bit, man, coming off of this COVID. You know what I'm saying? I see more people getting, it's just getting back into the old ways. You know what I'm saying? Not keep
yeah,
washing their hands, keeping stuff clean. You know what I'm saying? Getting away from the herbs that they was taking. You know, we was heavy on the herbs at
yeah.
one time. Seemed like when
Exactly,
they had
exactly.
the COVID going on, everywhere you look, it was sea moss, this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take the
Yeah,
herb, this. Make
exactly,
sure you have this.
exactly,
So, but you see a
exactly.
lot of people kind of, you know, see you got still a main base of people that's on it, but you see a lot of people still falling back. I mean, what should we as people continue to do to make sure that we maintaining through this biological warfare and these different diseases and stuff that we know that may be still coming? Because I heard something on the news about a whole new COVID they got going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Fucking with your
It's
lungs and shit.
crazy.
So
It's
what
crazy.
can we do, Dre? Tell us to get ourselves in line.
Stay away from the food a lot, man. Fast detox.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Keep your body, because we gotta understand the food right now that we are eating and they are giving us. It's not like the same food we was eating 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? If you can recall, when we was young, we get stuff natural. Stuff was grown. We ate a lot of grown stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff was more safer to eat. Now it's just so much toxic. That's why they're always having this recall and things recalling and things like that. I feel like you need to stop eating so much. It's good to fast, detox. You know what I'm saying? Detox yourself, because like I said, a lot of this food now it's not good for you. It's really put out there to keep us, what I'm saying, from staying in the best of good health. you know.
Right.
So
Right.
I definitely feel like, man, fasting and detoxing. I'm not saying don't eat. I'm saying I'm not saying that, but every now and then go and switch your diet up. You know, do a little fruit and veggie. If you're gonna eat meat, you know, don't eat it like constantly every day. Give your body time to digest it, detox, and cleanse yourself. Me, I don't eat pork, beef, chicken, none of that. I eat fish.
Hmm.
Um, but I stay with my herbs. I stay with my vitamin, and herbs. It may take a little slower to work, but it's natural. What I'm
Hmm.
saying, your body's a natural substance, so it takes time. But a lot of people want that fast reaction, and pumping yourself with all this chemicals and pharmaceutical stuff and putting in their body with side effects. Why would you want to take stuff that's gonna have side effects? You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking on a commercial and they said something about this medicine that's supposed to be taken from something, but it also can cause heart attacks or strokes. Why would you want to take a medicine that's gonna cure one thing but hurt the other?
Hurt
You know
the
what I'm
other.
saying?
Right. Right.
So it's just it don't make no sense to
Right, right, right. So should we still take the sea moss? Should we still take the burdock root? Should we still take the
me. Yes,
elderberry?
yes. And take it. Here's the thing. Don't
Mhm.
never wait until something happened to take things. You know what I'm saying? Even with the herbs, take stuff just to take it, because what happens is you get your body immune to that stuff. So if anything do come up against you, your body already have it in your system to fight it off. See what I'm saying? So I mean, I take herbs for many different things, and I'm perfectly healthy. You know what I'm saying? So don't always take it. Don't just wait until you have a cold or you have some type of sickness come about to just say, "Oh, I'm going to take, some herbs, or I want to take some sea moss, or I want to take, this type of herb that prevent this." Have it already in your system, have it already in your body. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So it can already be immune to it when it gets into your body.
right, 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 right. Don't be a little more proactive when it comes to that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly,
Right,
exactly.
right,
Because it's just like anything, the natural herbs is good, but at the same time, like if I just wait until I get a cold, I'm gonna take something natural, then your body still have to fight more. Even, you know what I'm saying? So
right,
don't just wait until that stuff happens to take it.
right, 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 right. Is it any daily regimen that you think, you know what I'm saying? I mean, besides those basic things that we already know, you know what I'm saying, that you
Man,
think we
I'm gonna
should
tell
be
you, cayenne pepper,
mm,
beetroot, natural oxide.
mm,
It's good for high blood pressure.
mm,
Keeps your blood thin, keeps your artery walls open.
right.
Man, I'm telling you, highly recommend take some beetroot with nitric oxide and
Mm.
cayenne pepper every day. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
I'm,
man.
I'm, gonna, I'm gonna ask you about this natural oxide. I see Scorpion Kingdom came in the room. Let me bring him on into the conversation, man, while you chopping it up. But tell me more about that
Okay.
natural oxide. What exactly is that?
It's
Scorpion
good. It's
Kingdom,
good for a lot of stuff,
brother.
man.
Peace, peace, peace,
Peace,
brother.
peace, peace.
Yeah, peace.
It's definitely good for a lot of things. Beetroots, with the natural oxide, is definitely good for you. Keeps your blood pure, keeps your blood thin. You know, it's definitely one of something I take on the regular. You know,
Right.
uh, along with the cayenne pepper is real good stuff.
Mm, mm, mm. That's heavy. That's heavy. So, as what exactly does the cayenne pepper? What does that do for you?
It does the same thing, man. Cayenne pepper. It when I was doing a lot of the alternative medicine studies,
Hmm.
cayenne pepper, believe it or not, it it can save your life. Honestly,
Mm,
it's
mm.
good for the heart. Um, it's good for the heart muscles, the vessels. It's basically pretty much do the same thing that the beetroot with the natural oxide does.
Right, 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 right.
And it stimulate is it regulates your blood pressure too. It's real good. Both of those is good for blood pressure.
Mhm. I saw you had a post the other day on your Instagram, which was real interesting to me. You were saying something about cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Cancer,
About,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can give them, you basically tell them, you basically said I could give you the jewel for the cancer, what you need to do as far as fasting. Give me more about what you would into
Well,
that. I
when
know you
you
gave
when you fast,
Mhm,
when you fast, your body pretty much starts to begin to eats on itself. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? So you have your bad cells, you have your good cells. And what it does is when you fast, when your body starts to eat itself, it starts to eat away the bad cells.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Basically, chemo, chemo don't know what cells to destroy or what cells to keep. You know what I'm saying? You got your good cell, you got your bad cell, but when you're dealing with chemo, it kills the bad and good cells. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you fast, it's more a healthy fast. It's more healthy regimen because you eating up all the bad cells, and eventually, when you eat up all the bad cells, your body eat up all the bad cells. There's no more cancer to attach yourself to, and then you keep your good cell. You have more good cells than bad cells, and then you give your body a better chance of fighting it off.
mm. And would you suggest something like that is with that was that would be with all forms of
I
cancer?
definitely I would suggest changing your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from meat. Stay away from sugar.
Mm, mm,
Um, just do like a light fast, fruit and veggies.
mm.
And stay away from the toxic food. 'Cause like I said earlier, a lot of this food is toxic anyway. So I would definitely stay away from that stuff and,
What about
and stay
our
stay with it.
what about our water, man? You know what I'm saying? I see a thousand different types of water. You know, that's a big,
Man, you
big.
know what? It's funny you say that because I was just telling somebody like I was
Hmm.
drinking some spring water, Ozark.
Hmm. Hmm.
They have that a lot in Texas, Ozark spring water, and I swear it tastes like tap water. So I'm starting to really feel that they are starting to put tap water in these water bottles, talking about it's spring water. so,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I definitely, man, I'll get the alkaline. They do have some alkaline. I used to go to the African store where they
Hmm.
used to have the actual filters, the
Hmm.
pH balance.
Hmm.
And if you can find a store like that, a shop like that give you per the pH balanced water, um, you know, highly recommend that, honestly.
I don't mean to cut you off. So what you telling me is you would rather trust the alkaline water that they have that everybody say don't mess with this than you would deal with what they so called say is the spring water, is what you saying.
Definitely, definitely,
Mm,
definitely.
mm.
Because
That's what
that spring water, the spring water now don't taste the same. If
mm,
you remember spring water a while back, they all don't. If I get one brand of spring water, I'm
mhm.
expecting the other brand of spring water to taste the same because it's spring water.
Right,
I
right.
shouldn't taste one brand of spring water and then taste the other brand, and it one tastes like
Mm,
totally different from the other. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
So nah, I don't. I'm starting to not trust the water in the bottles right
Right,
now.
right, right, right.
so
You sounded like Scorpion King, man. That's what he be kicking. He be on the same
for
type of
sure,
topic, man. You can't trust these people, man. You know what
can't
I'm
trust them, man,
saying? Because
because they put. I mean,
we supposed to be getting like minerals out of this spring water that we drinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that why are we drinking? And I mean, what's the
well,
purpose of
that's what they were telling us
mm,
at
mm,
first. And
mm.
that's what they were telling us, and that's what they were starting to make us believe. But like let's go back to listen to your body, listen
Okay.
to your energy. You know what I'm saying? Your taste bud, even down to your taste bud. You know what I'm saying? Something don't taste right. Your taste bud to me is connected to your intuition. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So
mm,
if you taste something, it don't feel right, it don't taste right, it ain't right.
mm,
You know?
mm. That's something that we don't
So
even listen to. That's something we
nah,
bypass. We take advantage of every day, them
yeah,
taste buds. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. That's why a lot of people get poisoned. A lot of
Mm,
people get drugged,
mm, mm,
because they
mm,
don't they it's the little things, man. Our body is very unique. It'll tell you everything you needed to know. You know what I'm saying? But in everyday life we don't listen to it because we so busy and so caught up doing other things, you know.
mm,
So
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's the truth. That's definitely the truth. Yeah, damn, that's very insightful. I'm gonna make sure I keep my eye on this water thing because that's something you don't even think about.
got
You know,
to,
everybody
bro.
just spring water, but it's deeper
Yeah,
than that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
got to, bro.
and it's a business, so I got to look at it like that. So I got to understand
Yeah,
that too. It's a
yeah,
business. So
yeah,
we do
exactly,
it running.
exactly,
It's capitalism. You know,
exactly. Because think about it, I can go and get some empty bottles and fill up
right,
water and
right,
put a label on it and say it's spring water.
right.
You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's right.
So
That's
and
right.
and and you can sell it and people will buy it. You can go
Mm,
in your downtown or a busy district, say, "Hey,
mm,
I'm selling bottled waters."
right,
People don't care. They
right.
buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a business. Because when we start buying water, you
Right.
know,
Right.
we growing up was free.
Right. Right. We was drinking out the water hole. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
You know.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. I
It
wouldn't
was,
dare
it
try that
was.
now. You know what I mean?
Because all the soil polluted.
Right. Polluted. Right. Right. So
Yeah,
so
soil
so,
polluted.
so I'm glad you did. I'm glad you said that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always good, Bill, with you, brother. So this gonna segue into the next conversation I was gonna ask. Lately, we've been having a lot of recalls on food. I just
Yeah,
saw one about tomatoes. You know, me and my wife. You know, she liked to me. You know, my wife likes sandwiches and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
really
Me
she
too.
just
Me too.
omitting that, right? Those tomatoes out of the diet. Mostly things that we hear, we just try to stay. Even though it's in another state, we don't still don't know. So we try to stay away from it as much as we can. You know what I'm saying? So, so tell me, about these food recalls. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with all of these food recalls left and right, Sci-Fi Dre?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's definitely something going on. But I would suggest people, man, learn to grow your stuff, or if hook up with a farmer. Hook up with like your farmer. You know what I'm saying? Like get in touch with a farmer, people that still grow stuff. And I would just buy stuff from them, man. That's what I do. I just hook up with a local farmer and I buy my produce from a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the eggs, everything I buy it from them, you know. So, cause like
Sounds
right now, a lot of this stuff in the store, man, is like, it's not good. It's
mm,
really not good, you
mm.
know. And don't trust nothing that grow without a seed anyway. At least
Right,
when you
right.
know when you buying stuff out the garden from these farmers, this stuff is coming from the ground.
Mhm,
You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? We don't know where this stuff coming from the store. We don't
Right.
know. They can tell us anything, but I know one thing. I've never seen food that like tomatoes or watermelon. They selling it, but it has no seed in it. Grapes,
Right.
like you don't even find no grape now with no seeds in it. So I don't trust nothing that grow without a seed.
Right, 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 and that's crazy. When we were coming up, you didn't see a whole lot of this. No seedless this and seedless that. I
Now
mean,
you didn't. You didn't.
is this a new
Nah, nah.
science? I mean, where did this come from? With this, is
Exactly.
this a faster way to grow the food? What's the reasoning behind this seedless? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think it was a problem having the seeds. Because now you want people. The ironic shit is now you got
Yeah.
more people looking for things with seeds, and you can't find them. You know what I'm saying? So
I
what was?
feel I feel like I feel like it's a lot of rush. A lot of rush.
Mm,
They're trying to really get it out there.
mm,
They don't care about our well-being. They
mm,
just care about the dollar. You know what I'm saying? The
right.
uh the slower that this stuff is getting put out, the slower money that's not bringing to the economy. So they not really care about their health. They're
Mm,
just worrying about their dollars. You know what I'm saying? So they rush it, and then sometimes things go bad. In the
right.
midst of it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's a lot of things that they involved with. I don't trust them. Never did.
Right,
So
right,
that's
right.
why I eat a certain way I eat. You know.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Right, right. So, because a lot of, even though I heard you say when I mentioned that, you said a lot of us need to grow our food and do this type of thing. But to
Yeah.
be honest, man, you don't got a whole lot of literacy, a whole lot of people that even know how to grow.
No, you know. But you know what's crazy? I'm glad you brought it up, man. I
Mhm.
was thinking about this the other day. Like when we was young, we had a lot of family members that grow. We had family members that had their own farm, and man, we didn't take advantage of that. We just like, oh, whatever. But we didn't know, man, how important that would have been down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
So I felt
mhm.
like a lot of us we should have learned that when we was younger. You know,
Right,
but hey, you're right. A lot of people don't know. So when they took a lot of the farmland and things like that, they left the younger generation with no knowledge of nothing. To rely on that food in the store, the seedless grapes and the seedless watermelon and things that they grow out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just somewhere down the line the knowledge been just cut off from just learning how to do all this stuff.
right, right.
And that's what hurting a lot of the younger generation. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because they rely to be taught on a system that don't really want us to know nothing.
right, 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 right. And
Hey, real quick. real quick to add on to what both of y'all saying,
Most
that's why there's no seeds in the fruits and vegetables because they don't want us to
Mhm.
regrow our stuff.
most definitely.
Mhm. Yep.
Mm,
Yep.
mm, mm,
Yep.
mm,
Yep.
and
That's it.
yeah, that's crazy.
That's it. That's it.
So let me ask you a question before you let me come back in, Scorpion Kings. I'm gonna ask you a question about that. So do you feel that with them not allowing us letting us grow, it's like it's a capital thing about getting money, trying to control the situation? That you think that's what that's about?
Absolutely, because where do we got to go buy the
Yeah.
seeds from the plant? We got to buy
Mm,
back from them
Exactly.
after they take it out,
Exactly.
and there it is.
mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they're not leaving us
Right.
no independency. Every fruit and vegetable that we eat has a seed and that can be replanted and we could be self-sufficient. So they
Mm.
produce the
Exactly.
seedless fruits
Exactly.
and vegetables so we can't be self-sufficient and we end up going to the stores and buying the seeds back from them.
Yep.
Or that's
That's
diabolical.
it. That's it. No, that's it. And that's the game. That's the game they play.
Yeah, that's
Even with the marijuana. Even
hmm
with the marijuana.
yep, right,
You know,
right.
same thing with the marijuana.
Same
You
thing
can't
with
even
them.
find you can't even find a marijuana seed. You know what I'm saying? You can't because they want us to rely on these whatever this marijuana is now they put out
Right.
making it legal. That's driving people crazy. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like giving people panic attacks and all
Mm,
type of stuff.
mm,
Like that's not natural.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
went from a natural substance to now something that's driving people crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And we don't have the seeds that even like you said, they don't want us to regrow our own nothing, you
And
know.
what you're saying is true,
So
man. I mean, a couple of years ago, I had problems with that, man. The panic attacks, man. Smoking multiple multiple blunts, man.
trust
You
me.
know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anxiety like a
Trust me, I
motherfucker. You
know,
know what
bro.
I'm saying? Shit. You know, I couldn't do it, man. I was like, man, I know. Come on, man. I know I could smoke this. I think
Hey,
I'm
listen.
doing this. You know what I'm saying? You know
I
what I
said the
mean?
same thing.
He was
I
smoking
said, man,
THCA.
Yeah, see, right.
hey, listen,
Right.
man, I know something ain't right. I stopped. That's why I stopped. I said, this ain't right.
Right. They done changed
Like,
it back up on me, man. The THCA, they done switched it up on me, man. You know what I mean?
hey, I called the dispensary. I called the dispensary. Hey, man, what y'all put in this thing? I thought that was,
Real
and that's crazy. 'Cause I called dispensary. You
man. It
know
ain't
what I'm
the
saying?
same no more.
So
It ain't the same no
you
more.
just, you just, yeah, you just can't trust nothing that they put out, man, because there's a reason why they're making this stuff legal.
Man,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
that's true. That's
you
true.
know, damn that every state in America is legal now. Like,
Mm,
come on, like,
mm,
nah,
mm.
So
And then they got so much
yeah,
loopholes. You got the hemp, you got the weed, just like Scorpion King says, you got the THCA, you got the damn
yep,
THCB, C, D, Z, goddamn, all type of shit y'all mixing up. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
And,
exactly,
and,
exactly,
and really, to be honest, who's getting the brunt of that smoke and getting the is these young kids because they going into the store
exactly,
like illegal. It's legal. They walking into these smoke shops buying these
exactly,
joints from these Arabs and these motherfuckers who don't give a
exactly,
damn about what's regulated and what's going on. They just want to sell shit along with that expired ass candy and shit they be selling in there. You
exactly.
know what I
You're
mean?
right.
And giving the shit to the kids. And now they walking around here lungs fucked up. That's the problem that you got with the vapes. They
Yep,
took control of the vape market. Now the vapes fucking up motherfuckers' lungs. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they damn get rid
exactly.
of a lot of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because these
Yep,
kids
yep,
getting a hold
yep,
of it. You know what I mean?
yep. To get exactly.
So
Right.
let's go to the next zone. I want to take it a little deeper because this always fascinates me when you get on like when you post stuff about this. But before I get into that, take me to the earliest memory, man, that shaped your fascination with metaphysics, my brother.
Man, you know what? Um, when I was young, I started to really realize I was different
Mm, mm,
from my family.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? I love my family, but I was like, wait a minute, I'm just different. And a lot of times I was always looked at as I was different because I always had this fascinating mind with, you know, outside of this realm. You know what I'm saying? I always look up at the sky, man, and just be like, I always had that mind to wonder. You know what I'm saying? I
mm-hmm,
was like, hey, something ain't right. A lot of things ain't right. I remember even with the Bible, I was like, I just question that 13, 14. Like,
mm-hmm.
something ain't right about this. A lot of
Right.
things just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So, people be like, "Oh, you weird," but I understand that weird is different, but weird to me is normal. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I feel like I'm here uh, for something else different than what the average person is on.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So I always looked at the world different. Science was always my thing, science and math. I
Hmm.
always look at the world like that. Numbers.
Right,
Everything is
right.
in divine numbers. Everything
Hmm.
is science. Science and math is basically is what I feel like this world is based on. If you
Hmm.
want to understand the universe, you can understand through math, geometry, science. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's something I always connected with more than religion. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So um, and I like to read. You know what I'm saying? My mind just goes different places. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
So I always had lucid dreams. I would be able to connect. Feel like I always feel like I was in some totally different zone, a totally
Hmm.
different realm of life. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So um, but that's what really inspired me, man. Despite of me getting in trouble and doing a lot of crazy stuff, I get in trouble and kick knowledge at the same time. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So,
Right,
because I always
right.
had a fascinating connection with knowledge,
Hmm.
your inner self, inner being, energy. But
That's right.
I understand it more as I got
Hmm.
older.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometime in life, man, um, if we had when we had a young age in life, um, we recognize our calling, we recognize our gift, but the universe will not allow us to have that right then because we're not ready to receive that. We
Hmm.
have to still go through things in life to order to receive it. That's why I say age with age come wisdom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So as I got older, I started realizing and recognizing my gifts, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and and also recognize that I can utilize it to my own personal gain in
So
life.
before,
You know what I'm saying?
before we even get that deep into that, before we go that far, how did your
Yeah.
family respond to these early explorations? Were they supportive, skeptical, somewhere in between? You know, because I know
Oh,
you were bringing it to
they
them. You
thought
know,
they thought I was crazy. He
right,
thought,
right,
he
right,
thought I
right,
was crazy.
right.
When you come with families, like some of my family, they recognize it. They knew because
Mm-hmm.
they was into some things that I'm into. Then
Right.
you also had your Bible thumpers,
Mm-hmm.
your real deep religion ones. Those the ones I call them the Pharisees.
Right.
The Sadducees and Pharisees. Them the one that look at you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
look at you like what? Like nah. But and to this day, a lot of them probably won't understand me. But I feel like man, your life is not for everybody to understand.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
um,
That's true.
you know, so yeah.
So can you recall? So speaking what you said, you had lucid dreams. You felt like you always had connections. Can you recall a specific moment when you felt like those invisible threads of energy or intuition
Man,
were guiding you?
I remember I remember I was like about 7 years old, man, and this is no lie. Like I woke up and I remember seeing a lady standing over me, in the flesh. I didn't even know this woman. She was in my room.
Mm,
And man, I went to tell my mom's that, man. She looked at me like, what?
mhm.
But I've been ever since then, like I knew right then, it was always something deeper than life that I was able to touch and connect with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's
Yeah.
heavy. That's heavy. So let me ask you.
And since that day, like I would always like I know the importance that man, we are not, by ourselves in this world. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you always got your spiritual counsels that look over you and guide you.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
but we've been cut off. We've been cut off, we've been cut off through religion, to not, connect with
Mhm.
those entities or deities. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, so yeah.
So when you grew up, did you have any teachers or books or particular books or moments that acted as accelerants on your metaphysical journey? That what
No,
coming up?
no, I didn't. But as I got older, when I was in the prison, I would read to just pass time.
mm, mm,
Zachariah Stitch, Malachi York.
mhm,
I became a 5 percenter when
mhm,
I was about 18. So
mhm,
actually, the Nation of the 5% is what really actually kind of, helped me open my eyes more of
mhm.
knowledge
Same
of
here.
self.
Same here, brother.
In that journey, and once I became into the knowledge of self, I was able to like really understand my full self and know
That's
who
right.
I am. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So I definitely and then as I travel on, I became a Mason, came in
Hmm.
the lodge, Freemason, and that was another journey that took me to a next elevation. And then I just recognized, hey, I don't need organizations. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I stand on my square alone. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because it's a self-made journey. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And knowledge born itself every day. You
Right.
know, you can always learn stuff every day, new stuff every day. And that's the beautiful thing of the universe. It
And
teaches you everything you need to know.
and it's crazy you said that me and Scorpion King had this discussion about we all started from because you see he threw the fist up because we all started from that same journey from the nation of God's earth, and we always
Peace,
speak
peace,
about,
peace.
you know what I'm saying, those same those peace, most definitely peace, brother, peace. Those same
Peace to
journeys.
the gods. Peace to the
You know what I'm saying?
gods.
Most
Peace to
definitely
God,
the
peace.
gods. So that those journeys take us from that information to the next level of information. We always talk about how
Hmm.
those schools of thought just continue to just let us build on for those who choose to build. Because some get stuck in those journeys. They there 50 years, 60 years. Ain't nothing wrong with them,
Yeah,
brother. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
it's some brothers that's we get that, and that's just something to put in the file that we go on to the next because we here to get in all the information that we can get. Because one of the first lessons that we also learned from the nation of gods that I think a lot of brothers still don't even get into or don't even build upon. The most important I feel is any man that controls 360 degrees of your knowledge controls 360 degrees of your thinking. So that's with anything. So
peace,
even if I'm in the nation of
peace.
gods or earths, you know what I'm saying, they telling me, so I can't just be controlled about this because this is just going to be 360 in my thinking. And it's a lot of more schools of thought outside of this. You know what I'm saying? This is just something that's
Peace.
going to take me to the next level. So, a lot of them get stuck into that. Oh,
Yeah,
I ain't nothing, like I say, ain't nothing wrong because I love dealing with the brothers. And like you see, we all
yeah,
screamed out
yeah.
peace to the gods on earth because we love that. That's
Peace.
our
Yeah.
basis. That's our, that's where we come from. But sometimes that's the milk. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go from the
Exactly.
milk, you know what I'm saying, and
Exactly.
start eating the solid food, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying, and getting bigger and bigger, you
Exactly.
know what I'm saying, with the shit. But
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
so with this journey, so you said something that I didn't know. So when you joined the Masons, so how long did you stay with the Masons?
Oh, I went up to my third, man, to my master.
Mm,
And
mm, mm,
when I came a master mason, I just like, you know what, hey. But you know one thing the brothers told me when I left the
mm-hmm.
lodge, they said, hey, once you're a mason, you're always a mason.
Right,
You
right,
know, no matter
right.
if you're a lodge or not.
Mm-hmm,
And that just kind of, helped me gain focus on my self journey. You know what
mm-hmm,
I'm saying?
right.
Um, we are the chief cornerstone that the builders reject, and we're gonna be rejected every day, but we just continue to stay on our square and keep moving forward.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it,
Yes,
it
sir.
I am that I am. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yes,
and it's
sir.
like, nothing should be kept a secret, man, especially amongst our black men.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And
That's
we
right.
iron sharpen iron, man. We had to lift one another up.
Yeah,
I can't be a part of something that's gonna keep knowledge away from helping my next brother
that's right.
elevate.
And
You know what
even
I'm saying?
my grandfather, he's been a Mason, and so is Scorpion King, his pops. And we always say that, like they always say, it this not a secret society, but it's a society of secrets. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
secret society,
yeah,
nobody would know about it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's just a
yeah.
society of
See,
secrets. You know what I'm saying?
that's peace right there
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
and I actually got my grandfather coming on. I'm trying to get him to come in and build about Prince Hall because the little that I read about Prince Hall was an amazing brother, man. He did a lot of things, man. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
is. Well, I'm international.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
international.
I already know.
I
I
don't think
know.
the Prince Hall's going.
Yeah, you got right,
Yeah,
right, right. Hey, that's another discussion. I'm gonna have to bring you on for that. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
What you got right there,
yeah.
Scorpion King? What you got right there?
So this is a book. My pops is a Prince Hall Mason. This is one of his books that he wrote right here,
Mm,
which is called The
Peace.
Hourglass.
no,
This is the
peace.
Oh,
African
peace, peace.
American
Oh, that's
Freemasonry in the
deep.
state of New York. So
Mm,
Oh,
mm,
that's deep,
mm.
bro.
That's deep.
That's
Yeah,
deep.
I gotta get that. You gotta let me come
Yeah.
check out
Okay.
your library, man.
yes,
Yeah.
Yo,
sir.
yo, he was a great man. He
Yes,
was a
sir.
great
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
He
sir.
was a
Yes,
great
sir.
man.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Yes, sir.
Man, I
But
gotta check that book out.
I saw you laugh though, Dre. When we start talking about Prince Hall, I'm going to bring you on. We gonna get different. We gonna get into the difference with this
Yeah.
so-called. That's another show
Yeah.
though.
But
That's
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I'm gonna say this. Um, that's another thing too. Um, I learned in life, man, is not to fall under titles.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Okay.
Labels and titles. You know, I something I just never could understand out of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I feel like we was given labels and titles to keep us divided.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Especially amongst our black community,
But
we was
yes.
given
Yes.
that label to
Yes.
keep us divided.
Yes.
You know, people, especially they know that black people would do anything just to feel important.
Mm-hmm.
So giving
Mm-hmm.
us a label and a title will make us feel important. It does something to our superior being or our manhood. So
That's
we
right.
take that title, a lot of us take that title and label and we run with it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And because I remember meeting a Prince Hall brother.
Mm-hmm.
I stay on the square with him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he just like look at me like what? But I'm like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because if we both Masonic brothers, that's all that matters. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
a lot of segregation and a lot of division and a lot of groups like that. And
exactly,
we do it
exactly.
to ourselves. Like you got Hebrew
Yes,
Israelites, you got brothers that's
exactly,
Christians,
exactly.
what I'm saying, Muslims. There's different sections, but and
Prejudice
all
Yep,
Mason, operative Masons.
talk about it, brother.
exactly.
Right,
You know, you got all type of like. And my thing
right,
is, we all Mason. You know, like
right, right.
you know,
And
I
we
ride the goat like you ride the goat.
come on,
You know,
and we black people, we all of these things because we invented all of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You know what
Yep,
I mean?
yep,
You know.
yep.
So so
Exactly,
so so
exactly.
so, so tapping back into your metaphysical journey, and I know you like to speak about manifestation. So I want to try to lead. I'm going to try to lead into that before I get into your businesses, because you a heavy business. You're a man on 7 8 businesses, man. That's a whole
Yeah.
nother. Lucky that
Man
I,
of many hats.
you know what I'm saying? Right, right. I even caught you because I know how you go. So so
Yeah.
so tell me, um was there a single initiation or a dramatic event or a trance state where you feel called into this metaphysical teaching work that you do about manifestation? Was it a did you yourself have
Yeah.
these manifestation moments where you meditated or you had things come? Tell me more about this, because you speak heavy about manifestation, and me and Scorpion King have these conversations about
Yeah.
manifestation, and sometimes we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I want he know me.
I
Sometimes I be skeptical about the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you
I'm gonna
say this to me, brother.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Everything I do, I'm gonna try it on myself first.
Okay,
I'll be
okay.
honest
Hmm.
before I put it out there in the surface. And manifestation is definitely real. We have to always guide our words and speak our words carefully because word carry power. You know what I'm saying? It said life and death is in the power of the tongue, and that's absolutely true. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about manifestation, man. Um, I wanted to share this with y'all and share it with the audience. Um, every word, it says the word was at the beginning and the word become flesh and the word is God. When we talking about the word, you know, um, we always go to God with our problems. We speak to God, but we don't speak to the word. You know what I'm saying? Speak to the word. We can go to anybody with our problems, but what word is affecting your life? You know what I'm saying? If you want money, speak to money. If you want blessings, speak to blessings. If you want stress to leave you, speak to stress. You know what I'm saying? You want protection, speak to protection. Speak to the word. You know what I'm saying? It'll manifest itself in so many different ways. You speak to protection, you might get into a situation and somebody out of nowhere, might save you. And you thinking that it's just a ordinary person out of nowhere, but this is that protection that you speak to. You see what I'm saying? Money, speak to money. Money might come abundantly. And you be like, dang, where does money come from? Because you spoke to money. You know what I'm saying? And this is the word. It's word carry vibration and carry frequency. And this is like the 369 when you write things down. When you write it down 3 times a day, 6 times, 9 times, and you write this word down, it manifests itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it works. It definitely works. Trust me. Trust me, it works. You know what I'm saying? Like it works on me. So I'm telling you, it works. But then also your level of faith too, man. Your level of faith. You know what I'm saying? You can speak to anything, but if you don't have the faith that this thing is gonna move what you needed to move, it's not gonna move. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When people come to me and want to be healed, I tell them, okay, you can be healed, but what level of faith you on? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Well, this can heal you, but you gotta still believe that this can heal you. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
So I can give you the recipe, but you got to believe that this recipe can work for you. And that's
Right.
the same with manifestation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta already believe that it'll happen even if you don't see it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's the
mhm.
that's the type of level of faith you gotta have. You know what they say, fake it till you make it? You know the saying, fake it till you make it?
Right.
That's how you gotta
Right.
do with manifestation. You gotta live it like you already have it.
Mm,
Simple. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So,
mm.
but speak to the word, man. Speak to the word. Trust me. Speak to the word. It may sound like weird, like you're talking to yourself, but trust me, your life, you speak life. You
Right.
speak things into existence. Everything comes from a thought, and then you speak it into existence. That's
Mm,
why you got to always guide your thought and guide your tongue when you're speaking things. You know what I'm
right.
saying? You can use your thought and your tongue for bless, or you can use it for curse. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
That's
that's
right.
why you got to be very careful in mind and guide your thoughts.
That I definitely agree with. I definitely agree with. So give me a little more insight into your particular situation where you had to when with your manifestation journey. I mean, um, what did you encounter during the episode? Can you give me the visions, the sounds, the raw energy that
My
you had
my
during
my my businesses, just me
mm,
living life. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
The things that I don't have, I don't worry about it
mm,
because if I speak it already, I know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee it comes. You know, People be like, man, how you been in business so long? You been in business 7 years, man. Shit, manifesting. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
Manifesting. That's
mm,
how I've been in business 7 years.
mm,
That's how I get businesses. Things come to me. It might be, man, you'll think I got $1 million, man.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't have $1 million because I just asked the universe to give me enough to make me to so I can be comfortable. I don't need a
Right.
lot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just give me enough I can be comfortable with, and things fall in place, man. Things fall in place in where I need to be. You know.
Mm, mhm,
So
mhm.
humble.
A
You got to be
dynamite,
humble.
a dynamite. The
Yeah.
brothers tapping into the quantum field,
Ah.
tapping into the fields outside of us.
Peace.
Mm, mm,
Peace.
That's what he's
Peace.
doing.
peace.
Peace.
Mm,
Peace. That's
mm,
right.
mm,
Peace.
mm,
That's what it is, man. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? And detach yourself from the world, the
Yeah.
physical world.
Right.
When you detach yourself from the physical world, nothing matters. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? And
mm,
when nothing matters in this physical world, you'll
mhm.
be able to manifest anything you want to do. But be humble. You got to be humble.
Right.
You got to be humble with it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Right.
pride and arrogance will kill your manifestation.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
No matter if you don't, you may look like a bum, but you got riches. You got
mm,
spiritual riches. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? That's why I don't care about clothes and what I wear and all that stuff. I don't care about none of that. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying?
mhm,
Because I
mhm.
know I got things that worth more than that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 And you always on the hustle, you know what I'm saying? Every time I see you, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. 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 That's the energy, man. That's the
Yes, sir.
energy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So like Scorpion King said, this quantum realm. That's all inside of us. I mean, have have you? have you gone deeper into like me and not like me and Scorpion King and I got an OG that comes on here named Mr. Johnny, man.
Mhm.
Mr. Johnny Heavy. He been studying metaphysics 50 years, man. Heavy brother. So
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
ask
that's
you,
deep.
yeah, heavy brother. So I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked them. So uh with the quantum realm and you being able to tap into this energy and you doing it so long, do you go about the remote viewing? Do you do that type of stuff, the meditation, the remote viewing, tapping
Yes.
into
Yes.
different
Yes.
dimensions, different
Yes.
individuals?
I does.
Can you give me some game about that?
I do, but I also be careful with it. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Because
mm,
every door is not meant to be open. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
So I
mm.
be very
What you
careful
mean?
with
What
it.
you mean by that? What you
Um,
mean by that?
because you can get caught up in some things. You can invite some things into your world. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That you got to be very careful with. You know what I'm saying? You can be out there. You can be lost out there. You know what
right.
I'm saying? So
Mm,
sometimes you got to know how to balance everything.
mhm,
I use a lot of meditation, but I also use sounds. I
mm,
do a lot of sound frequency. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Because your cells is your atoms. Atom is your building block of life.
mhm,
So you connect as the sounds you bring you can able to, you know, build your cells, rejuvenate your cells within your sound frequency.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear yourself through sound frequency as well. You can also meditate and tap in through sounds.
Mm,
And I feel
mm.
like this is what they know this. This is what they're doing, and this is why they're controlling the youth, the young generation, because they change the sounds, change the frequency. Now
Mm-hmm.
they got these dang on young cats under spells doing crazy
Right,
stuff with this music.
right, 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 right,
You can
right.
do you man, you can do a lot of things with sounds.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things with sounds, man.
Mm, mm,
Trust me.
mm.
Your sounds is man, it's like I said, small things we don't even know and think
So,
of.
so I hear this all the time with the sounds. You know what I'm saying? So this great conversation, man. I'm loving this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so with the sounds and this is not even a question that I always I'm speaking about this as when I say Scorpion King is me and him we tap in heavy. This one of my brothers that I build with the same situation, same information me and you when you chopping up now, we build constantly. So this not even a question I ever asked him. So what you say so and this is something that I was thinking about the other.
Hey, I hate to pause you.
Mhm.
Scorpio King, man, you got a beautiful energy, brother.
Yes,
You
yes.
beautiful energy, man.
Hmm.
Thank you,
Beautiful
bro.
energy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man. I first when he first said it, when he first said, "Hey, man, Scorpion King gonna come in," I'm like, "Huh, I gotta feel the energy and vibe, man." But
Right.
yeah, I like your energy, brother. I feel it. I feel it.
Thank you. Same here. Same here, King. Same
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you a quick story before I get into my question. He actually saw the video on my. I had some earlier videos I did with I knew
yeah,
with your brother that we had. You know what I'm saying when he's speaking about the flat Earth and the hollow Earth. Is my brother
yeah.
Scorpion King. That's his favorite subject. Antarctica, the flat
Oh yeah,
Earth,
the
hollow
earth.
Earth. Yeah, he loved that. You know what I'm saying. He's a very knowledgeable about this. Is a heavy
Yeah,
brother, especially with the Antarctica. He got a show coming up about Antarctica and the space program pretty soon. Maybe you can come
indeed,
back in
indeed.
and join us. You know what I'm saying
Oh
when you
yeah,
go
definitely,
situation.
definitely,
You know what I'm saying.
definitely.
But um uh uh he the same thing when I told him that I was that you were coming on and you was his brother, man. He was right on. He said, man, hey, he anything like I knew in him, and he don't even know but your brother, just the energy that he feels. And I'm a good
I
judgment of
say,
energy. You know what I'm saying? I would never bring somebody that I know energies wouldn't match. And I because I already know
I
y'all. You know
say,
what I'm saying? I feel y'all the same way. We all got the same energy. So like you say, definitely
I
I say.
say, I say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
When he was
let me.
speaking, oh
Mhm.
my
No,
parts
no,
up,
no,
but when he was speaking about how he don't care about the clothes, he don't. It was like he was talking to me.
Mhm.
It's like how I
Facts.
talk.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't care about
Peace,
none of that because
Mhm.
I'm
peace,
rich in other
peace,
ways.
That's right.
When we care
peace.
about that, now we locked into the matrix,
Sir.
which is
Exactly,
the material world.
exactly,
I want to be
exactly.
outside the material world.
Yes, sir.
Peace. That's
Sir.
peace, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
That's peace. That's peace. That's definitely peace. That's definitely peace. So even getting back into the conversation, like I said, I'm loving this, loving to have y'all brothers, man, tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? So, in sci-fi, I know it was just be a few, but I'm glad you're just staying with me. You know what I'm saying? We still
Oh
getting
yeah.
into, I ain't even got into the
Oh
business
yeah.
that we still on some other, because when I got you, I gotta get as much minutes as I can get with you because you are busy. But we were supposed to do this a month or two ago. You know what I'm saying? But
And
I
I had to be in the right space.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes,
I had
yes,
to be in the right space.
right.
I move on the spirit.
You said that.
Nothing
Yes.
against you.
No, I already know.
I have to be in a right, mind
Mhm,
mentality to be able
mhm.
to, because I know that, people are listening, they're looking, and I
Yes,
want to
sir.
be able to share light,
Yes,
you know.
sir. Yes, sir.
Um,
Sir. Yes, sir.
so
Most definitely.
be in
Most
the right
definitely.
spot.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And like I said, I definitely appreciate you. So my question is, and getting back to the frequencies and the sound, what is what is the sound of the universe? What is that
Oh
natural
man,
sound?
it's so many different sounds. I like to tap into the 480,
Mm,
780. Got the
mm,
900s,
mm,
hertz. I
mm,
like to tap into the hertz, man. Them
mm,
hertz. I'm telling you, I had a headache one day, man. I tapped into the 480
mhm.
hertz, and I'm telling you, man, I was able to channel that headache into my foot. I'd rather have a foot pain than a headache. So I was able to channel that, man. I was in which I was able to channel it out of my body. You know what I'm saying? So the 480 hertz is definitely you can do a lot of things with that 480 hertz. Definitely.
So how
But
can you
this is the same thing the Chinese people do with the acupuncture.
mm,
You know what I'm
oh
saying? What they
mm,
do with the acupuncture, same thing to heal
mm,
through sounds. You can actually repair your cells through sounds. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Your DNA, strengthen your DNA through sounds. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things through sound. That's why I try not to listen to that new music
Mm-hmm.
that's out,
Mm,
because they change up the frequency. I think, that's new sound now. They change up the frequency, man. It
mm-hmm.
ain't the same.
Right.
So I
Right.
like to keep it old school, but some soft music, man. And, some jazz, and they got a lot of jazz, got a lot of the hurts in it.
I
Just
heard
something to
that. I
meditate
heard that.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard Kava Common, a master teacher. He spoke about that. He said a lot of the jazz music is along our
Yeah.
natural
Oh
hurt.
yeah,
You know
definitely,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Definitely, man. Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Do you think it's because it's more more natural instruments that they playing versus the digital beats and digital situation that we got, when it comes to like hip hop or
No,
any other thing
I feel like the new hip hop is on a different frequency, man. And
altogether.
it was designed, it was definitely designed to control these YNs
Mm,
and
mm,
have them around here doing some crazy stuff, man.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because it
right.
ain't that stuff ain't right, man. Because when we was growing up, we listened to Nas, we listened to rap. We had rappers, but I don't feel like the rap music back then influenced us like the music now is influencing these young cats, man. Like
I agree. I
we,
agree.
we didn't we listen to rap music. We wasn't going out there killing and shooting
Nah,
shit.
nah.
I want
Might
to
smoke a
add
little
on to
weed
that.
and shit.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely. Smoke some weed. Mhm.
Yeah, so to add on to that, exactly what y'all brothers is saying is correct. They say the body is what, if I'm not mistaken, 85% water. There's an
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
experiment that everybody can check with the frequencies in the water. They play soft music, they play jazz music, they play
Mm-hmm.
rock music, and you can see the shapes of the water changing
Yep.
into, depending on the hertz and the
Oh,
frequencies, it starts changing
yes.
disruptively when you hear
Yes.
rock music, heavy
Yes.
metal.
Mm,
So if it's
mm,
doing to
Yes.
that water, and
Yes.
our body is made up of that much water, just like the same amount as the planet Earth,
Mm.
what is it doing
oh,
to our bodies and the planet?
wow.
That's deep, bro.
Wow.
That's deep,
Wow.
bro. That's
Mm,
deep. I love it because water is our direct form of communication, man. We
mm,
can talk to water and water will talk back to you. Man, I go
mm,
every time I go to the ocean, I go just to go and talk to the water, man. And I
mm,
guarantee you, I'm gonna tell you what else do that too. Plants.
mm, mhm,
Plants does the same thing too, man.
mm.
I'm telling you, it will talk to you. It may, tell anybody else that they think you're crazy and weird, but I'm
Mhm.
telling you, go to water and talk to water. I'm telling
Mhm.
you, man. And that's why when he say that, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's deep because
But
it's
that's but
facts.
not really crazy
It's
with plants
facts.
because people always say, you see people, ladies, they do a little talking to their plants. They don't go as deep as what you're saying, but they do that
Yeah,
automatically without even. Because that's a living thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a living
yeah,
creature.
yeah,
But the water, I
yep,
never thought about. I heard a master teacher say one time that the water holds memories, but I never thought
yep.
about talking to
It
the
does.
water. That's heavy.
Oh yeah, talk to it.
Mm,
Talk to it. When you want to manifest anything,
mhm,
go to water, go in the shower,
mm,
go to the ocean,
mm,
talk to the water, man. I'm telling you, water is I had an out of body experience one time,
mm,
and when I stepped out my body, man, it felt like I was walking through water.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Um, I mean, like you said, 85% of water, man. The sky is water. We in a dome. You know what I'm saying? The sky is water.
He shaking
you
his head.
know,
He like to hear that when you say dome. Here we go. He love
we in the
that.
dome. We in
Says,
the dome. We are square in the dome. We are
right,
square in the dome.
right, right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? We are
right,
square in the dome. That's
right.
all it is, man. Square in the compass.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
square in the compass.
I was gonna say that's what my brother says. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and crazy because the water older than any damn thing on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Water's powerful.
Man, in any story that you hear about creation story, they always speak about how the land and the animals came about, but they never tell you about the water. The water's
They
always
never tell you about the
there.
water.
Water always been there. You know what I'm saying? Water always.
Hey,
With no
we
water, there's no life. Life is
Mm,
water. Where there's no
mm,
life
water,
is
it's no
water.
life. Life is
Life
water.
mm.
life is water.
Real
Life
talk.
is definitely water.
Real
Yeah,
talk.
not for
Can't
real.
have no
Life is
life without water.
you
Mm,
can't. You can't. You
mm.
cannot. Hey, you
You,
can't.
you
For
think
real.
do y'all think even more so important than the sun, the
I
water?
would say
Well,
I would say yes and no because it depends on what
Yeah,
surface of water
yeah,
you at. The deeper
Mm,
you are in
exactly.
water where there's no sun, you can find life that you won't find on the surface.
That's
good
peace.
point.
That's
Good point.
peace. That's
Definitely
peace.
peace. Good
Definitely
point. Mm-hmm.
peace. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man. So so tapping on into to because I ain't gonna keep you too long. I want to make sure I touch on all of these things, you know what I'm saying, before I let you go.
No, brother. Keep
So we
going. Nah,
okay,
keep going. Keep
appreciate
going. I look.
I
Time
appreciate
don't exist in my world.
sir. Yes, sir. I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
I
Only
just
moments.
yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
create moments right now.
Always build. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I want to get into the entrepreneurial side of you. Okay, you helm multiple businesses while mentoring
yeah,
brothers with metaphysics. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Manifestation of counseling other people. You know what I'm saying? How do you fuse these spiritual principles that you speak? Before you tell us about you building the businesses, how do you fuse these spiritual principles with with the strategies of being somebody that's having commerce? How do you mix those both together? You know what I'm saying?
I balance.
Mm,
Um, you know, I tell you right now, if it wasn't on my so back in 2006 was
hmm
my first business ever.
hmm
And I was in the streets during that time, and you already know that business was just you already know what I was using that business for. um, so it wasn't nothing spiritual involved in that when I was doing that, and that was a fair business. It was 2018 when I first started the business I have now. It's going on 7 years. I learned I became more wiser. I grow. With wisdom come growth. You grow, you become wise. And your spirit, even with spirituality, you grow. And you learn to put your spirituality into everything you do to motivate you and to manifest it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do with my business. You know, I put I speak things into existence and I keep my business protected, so that's what keep it going.
Okay. So with your businesses, what kind of businesses do you have? What was the
The
first?
moving company,
Mm-hmm,
started my moving company in 2018. I got a trucking company now.
mm-hmm,
Um, I was doing remodeling houses, but man, the moving company's been so booming, man. It's hard to really, So I had to listen to my spiritual guide to say, hey, man, focus on focus on what's bringing you the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? A lot of times, man, we want to do so much, but we also have to listen to our body as well. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
health is important than money.
Mm,
Health is important than business. Because if you don't got good health, shit, you can't run the business. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So I had
yeah.
to kind of let some stuff go and just focus on what was being more fruitful.
Right.
And that's the moving company. So
Right.
because
Right.
everybody trying to move.
Yeah, especially right now. You know what I'm saying? Right.
There's more people moving than people getting their house remodeled. Trust me.
That's true.
So so
Right.
I had to focus on that and being obedient, be obedient because we gotta do understand that, man. Even though we're living in the physical, we also have higher powers over us.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? And
Yes, sir.
sometimes we have to be obedient,
Mm-hmm,
to our calling. So
mm-hmm.
so the moving company is definitely a calling. So I just stay focused with that.
Right. That movie, I definitely. So, do you have how many employees do you have in the movie?
Man, you know what? When I first started, I had a great crew. Right now, I have about 5 employees, but man, I had COVID just, after COVID, man, nobody want to work no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to, keep laborers and keep workers because now everybody feel like, oh, I can do it on my own or I
Right.
can do this on my own. So I don't need no help. I don't need, so it really mess up a lot of business owners, small businesses. It really
Mm-hmm.
helped as far as the labor, you know. So,
Right. Right.
but as far as business, it didn't mess up nothing. But I mean, shoot, if you ain't got no workers, you know what I'm saying? You,
Mhm.
s- then it makes the business hard to
Right.
run.
Right.
So
Right.
but
And with you being so deep, when making decisions with your business, I mean, how do you balance? you having that intuition that you speak of versus, like you said, the market data, what's really going on out here. You know what I'm saying? How do you say,
Yeah,
well, I'm still gonna go ahead and make sure
man.
I'm gonna get this, we gonna get 10, 15 houses to move this week, even though, you know what I'm saying, we see everybody pinching pennies right now, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
trying to save everything they got. How do you balance that
Uh,
intuition?
I balance through networking. Every
Mm,
time I switch my strategy up,
mhm, mm,
you never want to come with the same approach all the
right.
time.
Okay.
Sometimes you want to switch it up, but
Mhm,
also, that goes back to, you got to know who you is as a person as well. And
mhm,
you stand alone in this game. Not saying that friendly competition, okay, but I don't worry myself with what other people in the industry doing. I focus on what I'm doing. I
right.
focus on what I need to do to keep doing better or making things better. I focus on me. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I focus on what I need to do. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I don't get caught up in all this other stuff out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I can focus better. And when you can focus better like that, you're able to strategize better.
Mm,
Chess is my favorite. I love playing chess,
mhm,
and that's how I use my business as chess, playing chess. All
right.
about strategy. Consistent and strategy.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So, so do you have an example you can tell us where trusting that same, like you said, doing those same principles led you through a breakthrough, or sometimes a failure with your business? Or can you give me some examples with that? Because we got a lot of people, and the
Well,
reason why I'm
I
asking this question so deep is we got a lot of brothers and sisters out here that have small businesses. I mean, and like I said, me and Scorpion King spoke about this, especially during COVID. They pushed a lot of businesses on people,
mhm,
business owner, but a lot of people are not educated to be business owners. They don't really know.
exactly,
So, you know what I'm
exactly,
saying? And anything
exactly.
that we do, any show with this show, I always speak the same thing. This is a community. So our stories that we have are all lessons
Yep,
learned. I want
yep,
them to take the lessons that you're giving them, because it ain't always
mhm,
ups and downs when you being a business owner. And it ain't just about, my brother said, about
exactly,
manifestation. It's about work, because he getting out here. I'm gonna tell
exactly.
you,
Yep,
I watch his stories. He busting his ass 7 days a week.
yep,
And
yep,
he on
yep.
here with a handful of crystals at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, with quotes, you know what I'm saying, with quotes on his page saying, yo, this is what you need to
For
do. You know
sure,
what I'm saying? Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Keep it motivation. So that's
for
why I got
sure.
you know, that
Um,
type of drive is what said, man, I gotta have my brother on the show, because that's the type of drive that I love, and that's the type of drive I see, even out, like I said, out of my brother Scorpion
yeah,
King, same way out of I knew, all of these brothers, Mr. Johnny Ritchie,
yeah,
same brothers, the same tenacity to keep, even though we got life, to still keep going and build on that side of the
exactly,
game. That's amazing
exactly,
to me, man.
exactly.
And,
I met. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Along this business journey,
mhm,
I met a few wise men
mm,
that put me on game. I'm
mhm,
never gonna take full credit, you
mhm,
know. And I remember one brother told me, man, in order to become a great leader, you got to become a great follower.
mm,
You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
So a lot of times, when I'm short-handed, I don't want to work, but
Right.
I know I have to work because this is my business, and nobody's gonna treat your business like how you treat it. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
Um, you, Financial literacy. I'll tell everybody, man. You start a business, you may have that good run where you might get a lot of money. Then you might have a slow run where you ain't gonna make no money. Man, manage your money better. Pay your taxes. Pay your taxes though. But man, save your money, man. You know what I'm saying? And don't go out there buying stupid stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Invest your money because your business is your baby. You gotta invest that. You gotta take care of that. You know what I'm saying? You can't take care of a business broke because you're gonna struggle. You know what I'm saying? If you're not motivated and you're not consistent, you don't have that drive, it's gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? Because if you lose your money, you don't have nothing to back your business up, and you don't want to get out there to work to make things happen. Your business is gonna fail, and then you're gonna give up hope. Then you're gonna go back to working on the plantation. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you just gotta just utilize your time and your money wisely, man. Definitely.
right. 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 and that make a lot of sense. I mean,
And
as
there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5. I'm not supposed to. You gotta
right,
do what you gotta do, man.
of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? But if you coming from saying, hey, I don't want to do a 9 to 5 no more, I want to do my business, and you going full time in your business, the worst thing you're gonna have to do is if your business fail, to have to go back to what you say you was gonna never do again. See what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
So,
right,
you know,
right. Makes a lot of sense to me. That would probably just mess up your self esteem and your drive having to
exactly,
do it. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
Yeah, right,
exactly,
right, right,
exactly,
right, right,
exactly.
right, right. So yeah, that's definitely dope. So
Mhm.
even so going into the next um and like I said, just coming from what I said about at the end of the day with you, you doing your work and you still got a handful of crystals in your hand at the end of the day, and that healing work, and I'm very curious about that, man. Take me from the process from intake from the beginning to actual session. How do you access these actually in these energy blocks day to day, man? How do you use these crystals and these jewels that you got, man, to be able to elevate your life to the next level? Take me deeper into that.
Cleanse your chakras daily, man. Your chakras. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Your
mm,
stones. I love my crystals. I cleanse them. Um, I keep them on me. Because I'm not just believe, because belief is opinion, and I ain't gonna say I believe because then that means like I'm giving you my opinion. You know, but just off experience that these stuff works. Because it worked on me, and I know it works. You know what I'm saying? Even with healing, crystals carry energy. You know, if you ever break a crystal down, man, and you see the space of the universe, it's actually the same inside that crystal. You know what I'm saying? So you are actually weighing the universe with you, because we are the universe. We're a universe having a physical experience. You know what I'm saying? I
mm,
always tell people we
mm,
all have individual worlds. Your world is your world, my world is my world. I wouldn't have never exist in your world if you never allowed me into your world. So now, being that I'm in your world, I'm now become a part of your reality. Because your reality wouldn't have never exist if you wouldn't never let me in your world. You know what I'm saying? So connecting with crystals and connecting with stones and connecting with your herbs, this is how you heal yourself. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm, mm,
Um, even going back to fasting, you're saying you're cleansing, you're purifying. Like if you ever ate a lot, you ever eat a lot and you stuff and you full, you can't even think straight. You know what I'm saying? You don't even feel right. But once you cleanse your body with all that toxin and negativity, you're able to, have a pure conscience. And that's the same with healing and connecting with the chakras and cleansing your chakras daily. You know what I'm saying? Everyday life, well, it needs a balance, but we don't have everyday life like that. So, if we have a balance, then we're able to focus in life and we're able to focus on what we call to do. And then we'll understand our purpose. Because everybody here is not here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Matrix, it was designed to be that Matrix. Some people just here to be here. You know what I'm saying? And some people are here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So they say all is called, only few is chosen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just got to find our true calling and keep connected with crystal stones and cleanse that chakra daily. Keep yourself healed from negativity. Because I mean, hey, we got a bad and we got a good side. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, I'm God and the devil, because we got a good and we got a bad, we got a dark and we got a light. The light can't comprehend without the dark. If it wasn't for the light, it wouldn't be no dark. If it wasn't for the dark, it wouldn't be no light. I tell people I didn't get this far in life by being good all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I did some fucked up shit. But I balance. I balance, because you never let good outweigh bad, or you never let bad outweigh good. You
mm.
got to stay balanced. So you got to stay on your 24, your level, and your 24 gauge, and your level. Got to stay on that level.
Mm, mm. That's heavy. That's heavy, Dre. That's real. So you basically to cleanse your chakras to for the average man to clean his chakras.
I keep
You
them out of the sun.
okay.
Keep it out in the sun. You know,
So so you so
charge
so
it
you,
up.
so you basically weave together the crystals, the sound energy, the herbs, all of
Yes,
these things together. Is this a daily
yes.
practice?
It's daily, but sometimes I slip. But
Mhm.
hey, you know, but I don't make it a daily practice, you
Hmm.
know, because I feel like once I connect to something,
Hmm.
all I have to do is maintain it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It
Right.
don't take every day to maintain it, but it
Mm,
takes every day to keep a prayer conscious though, to stay
mm,
focused. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? But
mm,
cleansing my chakras, I don't. You know, I can kind of feel when the chakras is dull, or the stones is dull and the crystals is dull. Then I put it out in the sun and get it charged up. You
mm,
know,
mm,
cleanse it. You know, I take it to the Babalawo and let them cleanse it.
mm, mm,
So
mm. What's that?
yeah,
What's that you got right there?
that's the tree of life.
Mm, mm,
Chakras, Kabbalah, your
mm,
chakra is your tree of life. From
mm-hmm.
the feet to the head, we are the tree of life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you say you take it where to clean it up? Where you say you take it to who?
Sometimes I take it to the spiritual,
Mm.
my spiritual, guide, or my Babalawo.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, take it and cleanse it.
Mm,
For me.
mm,
Or
mm,
sometimes I cleanse it myself. Lately, I've been cleansing my own. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like I feel like if you cleanse your own, you connect well with his own. You talk to you. You connect with it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So lately, I've been cleansing my own. You know.
Mm,
So
mm,
yeah.
mm. Okay. 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 So your spiritual advisor, are you when you go in there, are you learning more to get into the same position, or you just going in there just tap into the spiritual for the energy?
No, sometimes I play with them.
Mm. Mhm,
Play with
mhm,
their mind.
mhm.
Because a lot of times we know the answer,
Right.
but we look for confirmation.
Mm.
You know, but you know yourself better than anybody else know yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes if what someone say to you, if it's not lining up to what your intuition feels to say, then it's off. Because
Mm.
everybody, approach you as if they know, but they don't really know. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mhm.
So you have to be so careful and mindful too, because a lot of time people follow trends, you
Mm.
know, and listen to your intuition. Your intuition is your inner being. You know what I'm saying? Listen to it, because it never steer you wrong. But sometimes we don't listen to it. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I go to my spiritual advisor, man. Sometimes, for my crystals, my stones, and
Mm.
you
Mm.
know, um, my,
Mm.
my my altar, for my
Mm.
altar and stuff like that. So,
Okay. Okay.
but just to buy. I don't like I said. I lean on to my inner self and
Mhm.
my spiritual guides from
Mhm.
other dimensions. I
Right.
lean on them, because they're with us every day. You know,
Mm.
they're with us every day. But they told us that was weird, that was scary, and not to connect with the other
Right.
side. And
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
man, listen, don't listen to that shit.
Yeah, we've been doing this for hundreds of thousands and millennia. We've been doing
Listen,
this.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell you right now, I trust those on the other side quicker than I trust those on this side.
Mm. Mm.
You know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
So
And
so
that's a fact.
so put a pin right there. Let me ask you a question, because this a question me and my guy be speaking about it. And this now
Hmm.
Scorpion King tells me when we were having a conversation, and he'll tell you himself. He and we I always want to get your opinion on this. He feels
Yeah.
like, and he could probably tell you in his own words, but I'm gonna just summarize it because I brought it up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, he feels like when people's now, as far as touching into those that other dimensions, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we definitely we feel you on that, you know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
definitely on that type of energy. But as far as people speak about their ancestors, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
People speak about my ancestors did this, or my ancestors protected me, or my ancestors on the other side guided me. What do you feel about this? Because Scorpion King, I want you to break it down to him, tell him what you feel about this ancestor situation since I brought it up.
All
It's
right,
you,
cool.
you can
So,
say it in your own words.
all right, so, all right, so I feel like sometimes the ancestor word gets thrown around to where people always tap into somebody who just passed away. Now, what if the person that just passed away had no knowledge of self, had no conscience? Why would I be praising an ancestor like that?
Mm,
Now, and because I just feel like, like you said, the trends, with this, with that,
Yeah.
call on your ancestors, call. So I feel like
mhm,
my ancestors are my Stargate people. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Whatever Stargate
That's
I come
that's
from, Those is
That's it.
my ancestors and whoever's attached to that. Because I could be born in the same family, but my brother can
Yep.
come from a different Stargate. My sister and but we all family. So how are
Mm,
you my
That's
real ancestor?
mm,
that's actually, you know what, man. I'm glad you said that because you're right. A lot of people they follow the trend. Ancestors. Your
mm,
ancestors don't necessarily mean your family, your physical family.
mm, mm,
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We gotta understand that we choose our physical family that came into this world to use them as just an open door to come into this world through the
mm,
bloodline.
mm,
That don't
mm.
mean they always was our family in the other world, in the
Hmm.
life
That's
previously.
heavy. That's
You see
heavy.
what I'm saying? So you're right. Our ancestors don't necessarily mean that is our family that here in the physical. I mean, shit, hell, half the time, a lot of our family members not even connected with us in the physical that
Right.
well. So why would they want to be connected with us on the other side?
All of a
You see
sudden
what
they
I'm saying?
die and we just need to call on them because they care about it so much. Nigga, I ain't hear from you in years. So yeah, we too tapped into this
Right.
emotional stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Now
And
I
it kind of
do.
leads us down the wrong way.
Now I do feel like just off experience, because I lost my mom's back in 2019, and I've spoken to her numerous of times.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But as far as when we say ancestors, man, we got so many people fighting for us on the other side. And shit, a lot of them people we haven't even met in this lifetime. You see what I'm saying? So he right. I gotta piece that, brother. That's peace.
Thank you,
That's
bro.
peace.
Thank you. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
because
just said
we,
something at the end too. Yeah, a lot of the answers we don't even know. So who are we
mm,
we
really
don't yep,
calling? Are we putting spells
yep,
on
we don't know.
ourselves?
We don't know.
mm,
And
We don't know.
that's why that's why we have to be so careful to who we call on, because you got different spirits out there that would infiltrate, that will
mm,
come into the form of who
Act
you
like
think
they're
you
the
calling
person
on.
that you calling them. There you
mm,
go.
Exactly,
mm,
You know
exactly.
that
mm,
you
And we
talking
have
to your mother because you knew your mother in this physical form.
exactly,
mm, mm,
exactly,
mm,
exactly,
mm.
exactly.
Would,
So
would,
we
that,
have to be so
would, that,
careful.
would, that, would that be a same entity like look like the Christians would say a demon or the Muslims would say a jinn? Would it be a something what they say was that same type of deity, is that same type of thought, something that's really coming in a different type of
Yeah,
energy?
'cause you got to think about it a lot. You got to think about a lot of them. It's like they're saying the streets need a body.
Mm-hmm,
Streets
mm-hmm.
need a body. Shit, them
Right.
demons need a body. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
mm,
And it
So we have
depends
to
on
be
what mental state you in as well. If
mm,
you
exactly,
in the
exactly.
emotional state where you can't really gather your thoughts, they'll send something your way just to satisfy you. That's where
mm,
you could
That's
be
it.
tricked. But
mm.
I'm gonna leave it up to you though. Peace.
Nah, for real. That's peace. Because you know what? Listen. So listen. I'm glad we got on that because I was telling everybody about the importance of sleeping with people. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? We
mm,
gotta be so careful, man, who we lay down with. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
Because man, that's the thing you were saying. If you weaken your emotions on your emotions, they prey on your emotions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got around here, you got females saying, "Oh, girl, he got some good dick," or niggas be like, "Oh, she got some good." Nah, they all around here acting crazy. They don't sleep with a demon and don't even know they don't sleep with one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's why we had to be so careful, man.
Mm,
Because they jump, and now as the portals being open right now, the portals are so open, like it's so
mm,
much stuff out here right now. We're in a spiritual warfare. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? I see
mm.
it every day, like stuff that be going on. Y'all be seeing, man, that's nothing but spiritual warfare. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I be telling you, you gotta be so careful. You gotta protect your energy, man. You
Mm,
got
mm.
to,
That
Even
seems like
sicknesses, a lot of people think they
mm,
sick, but you could be experiencing a spiritual sickness because your
yep,
mind ain't
yep,
connected to where it needs to be connected to. So of course it's gonna cause an imbalance, and you thinking that you
exactly.
sick, you taking all of these things and nothing's healing you, but you haven't
And
fixed
that's
your
peace.
mindset.
yeah, most
That's
definitely.
peace. That's
Yeah,
peace. That's
yeah,
peace.
yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, because what they say, disease, die, you know what I'm saying? All that's in that word, you know what I'm saying? All those
Die,
words,
dis-ease,
disease.
all that.
Yep,
Mm,
yep, yep.
mm. Heavy
Peace,
shit. Heavy,
peace.
heavy, heavy. So and like you said, that's crazy with going back to even what you said about those, about like you said, those different energies that people tapping into and sleeping with people. So if somebody, so let's go back to even with you with the herbs and the holistic situation, because we know our people brought all of this information, you know what I'm saying, clean and
Mhm.
this root work, dealing with different herbs and things, you know what I'm saying, to clean ourselves. So is it something that we should do as far as somebody that's sleeping with somebody? Is it something that they can take, or some things that they can do, because you don't know what type of energy they may bring? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Man,
Somebody,
detox yourself.
mm,
Females, if you're trying to get that energy up out of you, man, do that yoni, do your little yoni thing, cleanse
mm,
yourself. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Men, practice celibacy, fast and heal
mm,
yourself. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Because sex is an energy that was given to us for sacred to heal. You know, if you your sex energy, you can actually heal it. You can actually heal things, heal yourself. You can manifest through sex energy. It's a lot
mm,
of energy through sex
mm,
you can actually do. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? You can actually use sex energy to put a hold on people. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? There's a
mm.
lot of things. Sex energy is the same as a gambling or money energy. You know what I'm saying? It all has that form of addiction. You know what I'm saying? That's why but people use it, they abuse it, and they don't even know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that they're tying their souls, every time they get with someone. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's why, old people say you gotta be careful who you sleep with. You gotta be careful who
right.
you sleep with, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Everything look good ain't good. And you notice though, notice like so the entity will send you this beautiful person, this bad female. You know what I'm saying? You be like, dang, how I get this person so easy. You know what I'm saying? How I get this person so easy. The next thing you know, they don't messing your whole head up. Fuck your whole head up, your finance gone, you're stressing, you this and that because you don't sleep with that demon. That demon got your soul tied.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
If you ain't strong enough, you ain't gonna be able to get rid of it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Now
mm.
you're around here shooting yourself and shooting this person.
Right, right. Murder, suicide. What they say? Murder, suicide. You know what
Murder,
I mean?
suicide.
Right, right, right.
you you out here man acting crazy. You don't even know why you doing it. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? You don't even
Mm,
know why you doing it. So
mm,
every energy that come out you, man, use it for the good.
mm,
You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Use it
mm.
for the good. Cause man, once you tap in a lot of stuff, you'll be surprised what energy you can use to do a lot of things.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And
And once you
you
learn,
so not even to cut you off, because I don't want to forget. You said something about manifesting through sexual energy. How does one do
yeah,
something like that? How do you do something like
man,
that?
listen,
What's the
well,
process?
every time you ejaculate, man,
Mm,
you release your energy into the universe. You know what I'm saying? And everything comes from a thought. You know what I'm saying? That energy, that sexual energy is so powerful when you release it and whatever you're thinking, you can manifest into the universe. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? That's how powerful it is, really. You know. And it's very sacred, but we was they don't want us to use that power. They want us to use the power and waste it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they put out these images and stuff like that to just kind of make you think that, oh, we're just having a good time or you're just enjoying the moment or, even if you're in a relationship with your partner, you know what I'm saying, and your partner is not on that same vibe and frequency, and you mess around, you have sex with that your partner, man, you can shit. That energy can rub off on you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how powerful it is. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
mhm.
That's how
Right,
powerful it is.
right.
You got a lot of people, man, they be stuck with people. They're not even happy but they're so
Mm,
soul tied through sex, they want to stay with that. They want to stay with it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Average
mm.
person don't even know why they even with their spouse or with their girlfriend or boyfriend. All sex good.
Right. That's all they say. Right, right. No, not even a decent conversation. Shit,
Nothing. You,
Right,
you got
That's
people.
an
You
energy
got
hole.
people.
You exactly right. It's an energy
Yeah,
hole.
you got
right.
people who don't even have don't have communication in relationship,
Don't even
but want to
talk.
have sex all the time.
Right, right. You're
That's why
right.
that energy is throwing so much at us. The sex, the money, and drugs.
Yep,
Those
Mm,
three
exactly.
combination right there is a
Yep,
road to destruction.
mhm. Right,
And it's
exactly.
promoted
Not
the
for real.
most. It's promoted
right.
the most.
Exactly.
It
You're
definitely is.
right.
Yeah.
Because they don't want us to use it for what we really need to be using it for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They want us to self destruct ourselves. So that's
Mm,
like you say, that's why they promote it the most.
So
You
they
know
right.
what
don't
I'm
got to
saying?
do
So
it. So they don't got to do it. And when we look back at our history, we just look at a reflection of ourselves and say we did it to
peace,
ourselves.
Right. That's
peace,
right. That's
peace,
right. That's
peace,
right.
peace,
That's right. That's right.
peace.
That's right. That's most definitely. So 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 sometimes even with dealing with when we speak about this dealing with energies and metaphysics and all of these type of things, you know what I'm saying? We come across a lot of critics sometimes. So tell me,
Yeah.
embarking into these realms that, like I said, they bring a lot of scrutiny. So tell me what criticisms or doubt that you face, but you responded and showed them different. You know what I'm saying? You showed, okay, this, you kind of showed improve, you know what I mean? Because I know you came across some criticism because you deal with a lot of people and you deal with a lot of information.
Well, you know, the sad part is it be your own kind.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
right.
And
Right.
them the ones that you want to be, you want to see walk the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But we've been so programmed in this matrix. You
Right.
know, it you know, it's the criticism come more from your own kind. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like like you know, I can go like the average black. Like I wear all my stones on my neck a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might come across black people. They look at you crazy, look at me weird. But then
Mm-hmm.
I have a white person that come to me like, "Oh, I like your necklace. I like your
Mm-hmm.
crystals. I
Mm-hmm.
like your stones." And I'm like, "Well, damn." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like how my own kind, you know, don't recognize this, but then the opposite they do.
They
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So like I would like to really see more of my own kind being awoke. You know,
Mm.
but hey, you can lead a lot of them to the well, man, but you can't force them to drink.
Right.
You know,
Right.
um, and this is who we is from the
Mm.
beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm.
everyone else have it in us, but
Right.
unfortunately, not everyone will be able to recognize it in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm. Mm.
yeah,
Mm. So so you say we got all of these things in us in us from the start.
yeah, yeah,
Mm. Mm.
yeah, we have it. But go back to what I was saying. All this call on the few is chosen.
Right.
You know,
Right.
um, and a lot of us in this lifetime won't get it. So we
Mm.
have to keep on trying, you know,
Right.
until we get it. Some of us probably never get it,
I got a
Mm-hmm.
you know,
question.
because it. Mhm.
I got a question since you said that. It sparked a thought because me and Dynamite talks about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you feel about reincarnating, manifesting your reality here for your reincarnation? Like, do you believe that you can
Mm.
manifest your reality before you leave this world and be able to tap back in and come back to it through maybe one of your children's children or
Oh,
through?
definitely. I definitely. We all the bloodline keeps going.
Good question.
The
Mm-hmm.
bloodline keeps going. Um, man, I tell you, my youngest daughter, that's my mom's. I know
Mm.
that's my mom.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we the bloodline keeps going. It definitely keeps going. And I do feel like the life we live here, what determines the life you're gonna live on the next realm. You know, you gonna either stay in the dark or you gonna come back to the light. And you come back to the light, well, you come back through the hospital portal. Cause that's your,
Is that
cause
why
that's
you
your
think?
light.
Is that why you think? Right. You also sparked another thought.
Mm.
Why do you think that when? Because I know you said you've been in the system. I have too. I haven't done no long stretch, but I understand the
Hmm.
signs and symbolism. So why do you
Yeah.
think we are judged by that Bible, by that book, and they hand down 100, 200, 500, 600? Crazy amount of sentence to somebody.
Yeah.
Do you
Mm.
think that's
Yeah.
for the reincarnation to come back to finish your sentence?
I
Mm.
do feel that.
Mm.
I feel that. I do feel like, man, this first of all, this is a low vibration, this realm. So I do feel like this is this is like I could say,
Like a
how can I
soul
put it?
trap?
Yeah, yeah. This is like how we come back through here until we get it right. We keep coming back through here. We keep some of us want to stay coming back through here. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And some of us don't want to come back through here, but it's some things that we haven't finished. You know
Mm.
that 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 360 circle. You know it comes back around. You know what I'm saying? and just come back through, and we just come back through the cycle. You know,
Mm,
we're not gonna be the same person. I don't never think that I never like we're gonna come back through humans. I don't feel like we'll come back through nothing else because I feel like once we're already human on that realm, we're gonna just keep coming back
mm.
through that. You know what I'm saying?
So you
So
don't feel
yeah.
like people say they come back to be animals or resurrect through different
Nah, I don't.
animals.
I don't feel that. I
Mm,
don't feel that.
mm,
I
I
feel
think we
like
graduated
animals.
from that consciousness already. I think we was that at some point.
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That's it.
agree.
That's it. That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Definitely it. And
Mhm.
I feel like animals, man, they're in their own dimension, and
Mm, mm,
they're here to guide us through signs and signs.
mm.
Um,
I like that. Yeah,
they
right.
they here to guide us, man. That's why you know we let's go back to what I was saying earlier. We overlook the small things. You know,
Mm-hmm,
um, and sometimes a lot of times it can be a sign. You
mm-hmm,
know, because you got to think about it, they're not in the same dimension as we is, so they're
right.
able to see things that we can't see. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I feel like they are here to help with the guiding process. You
And
know?
we know a lot with those animals, even going back to the Egyptians and a lot of those other brothers. I mean, they learned a lot of their daily practices thing from studying the animals. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Watching
yep,
them. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? The things that they do.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
because the
Yep,
animals don't got no choice. They got to obey the rules of the laws of the universe. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
that's
it,
what you
that's
said
it.
is very very important. This we can stray from the motherfuckers at any time we ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we
Exactly,
get ready, but those
exactly.
animals they got to follow the laws
They
of the
gotta
universe.
they
It's
gotta
no
follow the law of the
it
universe.
ain't no
Yep,
change in them. They got to do it. You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
yep,
Unless you gotta
yep.
even domesticating a dog or anything to a certain extent, you can change them, but
Hmm.
not so you can't
Yeah,
change their nature, their natural
can't
nature.
change their nature.
Man,
No, you
right?
can't. You can't. That's why they age different.
Mm,
That's why they
mm,
age different. They don't
mm,
age. Um,
mm.
we
I've never heard that.
we was created from. I like to tell people we are the original AIs. We're the
Okay,
original AIs.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we the
With
originals.
artificial
So
intelligence.
now they're trying to find a, another AI race
Right.
to destroy the original race, which is
Mhm,
the
mhm.
human race.
Right. Right. So what you
So
so they going back and forth with this this AI shit. They gonna take the jobs. The AI gonna take over, take all the information. I mean, what path do you think this AI is going to be
well,
helpful or
we
hindering to it?
also us like he said, soul trap.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they took our soul and trapped us in this AI body,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to figure out a way now to put consciousness in a robot body.
Mm. Mm.
You
Mm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So we're
Mm.
gonna see how that turn out.
Mm. Right.
Hey, didn't I tell you, Ed? That's why the see we got to tap into the Akashic records in the quantum field to get our data and downloads.
Mm-hmm.
What
Peace,
they're trying to
peace,
do is create a different one. The iPhones is the
peace,
clouds. So we come back to this
peace.
false data, all the data that we
Mm.
put by
Mm,
taking pictures,
that's
all the
it.
data we put on social media. We're gonna
Mm.
be
That's
Sims
it.
characters coming
Mm.
back in a
That's
video
it.
game.
That's it. That's it, man.
Right.
That's
Right.
it.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
And
That's it.
what you said was profound because, like you said, but what we know about the Akashic records, these are things that's
Hmm.
already out here with these things that's we already know that's already inside of us. And the cloud is that's what they're trying to create almost an artificial Akashic records. And I never
That's
fucking
Hmm.
it.
thought about that.
That's
That's
it.
Yep.
That's it. That's
Artificial
it.
Akashic records. So that's what our
wow.
memory is gonna zap back
What,
to,
what,
not
what,
our
what,
Hmm.
original
what they
self.
always say, everything in the cloud, everything in the cloud, everything in the cloud.
Everything in the clouds.
You
Everything in
right.
the clouds.
Ooh,
Yep.
ooh,
That's it. The
ooh.
mind. That's it. That's what they trying to
That's
do.
all they
And they
want. They
oh,
want
they trying
this.
to do it. They definitely
Mm,
trying to do it. They
mm,
they trying to do it.
But now
mm.
they doing it to us where we willingly giving all the information up. We giving it
That's
up.
it.
And they
Mm,
just
That's it.
collecting it and collecting it. Like, okay, we want to know how you people are. We want to, and just we just
Yep.
giving it up.
you're
You
giving
know?
it to
They
them, right?
putting out they
Hmm.
putting out DNA and data in them. And then
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
what I find so interesting is they started with these social media sites, these MySpace
yep.
and Facebook and all of that, and slowly progressed. If you notice, all of a sudden we got a guy that started the Facebook and all of these social media. He's just a regular student or whatever. Now all of a sudden he's
Yeah.
getting into this meta and these art, like you said,
Yep.
he's going deep into these artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Because so do you think from what y'all said, from your statement that you said, do you think that they use this from the beginning stages of, not even, we already know always watching us, but even from the primal stages of these social media sites, they use this information to help build this artificial intelligence? You know what I'm saying? Because
Definitely. I
I
feel like
saw
it.
I saw a fucking
I
video
feel like it.
yesterday. I'm gonna trip you out. I saw a video yesterday, bro. I guess they making some jokes with the AI people, but it had three pastors, right? Pastors was saying some wild shit. It was three black dudes, but the shit is getting so perfect. You could not fucking tell if this was a real person or this was an actual AI till I had to look in the comments,
See what I'm
bro.
saying?
And I see somebody said, "Oh, this AI," because he was saying so much wild shit. I was like, "Man, I know this ain't no
Yeah.
Christian pastor saying no wild shit. I know they been saying
See
some
what
wild
I'm
shit.
saying?
This is wild." You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I was
See
like,
what
man,
I'm
I was
saying?
like, so I was like, man, they now, it went from a couple years ago with the deep fakes, with just them changing
Yep.
motherfucking mouths. Now the shit is, you
Yep.
can't fucking tell, bro, what's real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? You don't
We
even know.
definitely not alone. We definitely not alone.
Mm,
We
mm,
definitely not alone.
mm,
Cause I
mm,
travel on the West Coast a lot,
mm-hmm,
and I'm telling you, man, I've been to Montana, Wyoming, Utah. There's some shit out there. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
Arizona, because they got the whole Grand Canyon barred
mm,
off where you can't even go through there. So I
mm.
feel like, why do y'all have this thing barred off where people can't go through there? You know what I'm
Cause that's
saying?
the real
So
Egypt.
Yeah.
that's
Mm,
it, man. Man,
mm,
hey, I went through there. I was just through there 2 weeks ago. I'm
mm.
telling you, man. Like I go there every year
What you see, man?
traveling, but it's definitely some shit out there. Trust me,
Mm,
there's some shit out there, man. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So, and I see why now the civilization out there is there really no civilization out there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's untouched land, so much untouched land out there.
mm,
You think you're
mm,
in a whole different country being
mm,
out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, man, it's crazy. But you see little camps, like little camp thing.
mm-hmm,
Like I remember I was going through Utah and I see like this armor truck, and like a little camp thing, and it's just that one little thing out there, nothing else.
Mm.
And I'm
mm.
like, man, what these people got going on? So we're
Somebody
definitely not the only one
experimenting.
here.
Right, right.
Exactly. We're definitely not the only one here. Like I never felt that.
So with this push of going back to this AI and this advancement of AI and this advancement of this shit so quick and fast, do you think it's any? I mean, it may sound a little off the wall to some people, but we always say, we are foolish to believe we the only ones in the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you think that's any extraterrestrial help or
definitely,
activity that these people getting to assist them with this shit that they
definitely,
got going on?
definitely,
Mm,
definitely, definitely.
mm,
The human mind don't even think. We don't even use, and let's go back to 5% of
mm,
knowledge. We
mm.
don't even use
Right,
100% of our brain capacity. We don't even use
right.
that. So where else is these people coming from with this technology and knowledge? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like you can be smart all you want to, man, but we don't use that percent of our brains. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? To even
right,
come up with, with this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
With advanced technology. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So I feel like, man, I feel like honestly, there's a higher being over us, and like they had the final call,
Mm,
before anything. Because if that's the case, mankind we have been on to destroy each other,
mhm,
honestly.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Man, you had a nuclear, all this nuclear this and nuclear that. All it takes is a button. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
So I feel like we don't have the final call. There's higher beings, you know, that has the final call. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
whenever them human, huh?
the real quick, I had to smile because I was just watching something the other day where
Yeah,
exactly when you said the hitting the hand on the button is as easy as a button. If you look at a
yeah,
lot of these shows, they talk about like these declassified shows. They talk about a lot of the extraterrestrials hovering
yeah,
over a lot of these nuclear plants.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Damn.
See what I'm
Yep,
saying?
that's a
Mm,
fact. Yep,
So
that's
that
a fact.
that that's all it takes is a button. So I feel like if a higher being say, "Hey, let's destroy mankind right now," you know,
that's
let's
all.
see what this AI, let's see what this AI, this new technology gonna do. And if it works out, let's destroy him. Let's destroy mankind. Push the button. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So
mm,
and I feel a lot of things that's going on now in the media is just to keep us, on edge. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
Because it's not gonna happen. You know, I
Mm,
don't feel like it's gonna happen. You know, but if it does happen, we okay. You know what I'm saying?
right,
We okay. Because
right.
we had the power to reincarnate ourselves and come back many times.
And we
You
got a
know?
lot of this, like you say, a lot of distractions that keep us from being
Yeah,
focused and being our best
yeah,
selves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's why I see a lot of brothers
definitely.
and sisters that want to be them best selves, man. But it's a lot of shit that's thrown in your way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you say,
Yep, yep.
distractions, fuck up your energy, all type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Detachment, man. Law of detachment. The laws of detachment is the most powerful tool you can practice.
Mm,
You know what
mm,
I'm saying? The
mm,
laws of detachment. If you
mm,
practice the law of the laws of detachment, I'm telling you, man, you see a lot of things opening up for you in your life.
mm,
You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Detach
mm.
yourself from a lot of things.
That's right.
And I promise you, the universe will open up doors.
Mm, that's heavy. That's heavy. And that goes back to what you said, even with from the bad foods.
Yep, yep,
Like me and Scorpion King like to talk about the television. You know what I'm saying? People still
yep.
getting still caught up pulling that energy from there. You know what I'm saying? And now we got people that's not even a television. The internet has become the new television because they locked
Yep,
into that. You
yep.
know what I'm saying? We know we got truth here, but it's a lot of more bullshit than it is real truth.
It is.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
definitely
You
is.
know what I mean?
It
So
definitely is.
so you
It
definitely
definitely
right,
is.
brother. That's right. That's
You
right.
know, if you put I know if y'all probably had this wise saying before, man, but you put the knowledge, universe give mankind access to knowledge and say, hey, I'm gonna put it under the water. No, I'm not gonna put it under the water because then mankind will go under the water to try to look for it. Well, okay, we're gonna put it up in the mountains. No, I'm not gonna put it up in the mountains because mankind will try to kill itself to go up in this mountain to try to find the knowledge. Okay, well, where should we put the knowledge at? We're gonna put it within itself because we know that mankind will not deep look within itself to find the true knowledge.
Mm, mm, I love that, brother. I love that. I love
So
that. I'm gonna
we
take that with me, bro.
all
Yeah.
the answers are within ourselves,
Mm,
but we just we just so caught up in this matrix and program to where we don't even look within ourselves. This is why I was talking about the attachment, the laws of detachment. Once
mm-hmm.
we detach ourselves from everything, we're able to search within ourselves to find the answer.
Right, right, right. That's real. That's real. Hey, I couldn't close it out no bigger and better than that, man. And I appreciate you coming through. Like I said, and I ain't gonna keep you too long. Like I said, I know you ain't worried about the time, but like I said, I like to keep my word with you, brother, and I appreciate you.
Oh
And I
no, you're
want to bring
fine.
you back on because I got many more.
Bring me
We got
back
many
on.
more topic, many more questions. I want to bring you back and chop it up, and I'm pretty sure
Peace.
Scorpion
Peace.
King will join me. You know what I'm saying? Next time you come, I'm gonna reach out to Mr. Johnny, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring him on. I want
Definitely,
to get a nice
definitely,
panel because I think man, we gonna have a super bill with that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
definitely.
mean? Definitely.
Send me Scorpion King panel handles too, man. I follow
Oh
you.
yeah, most
I
definitely.
follow you on
Well,
social media, definitely.
he ain't on no social media, and
That's good. That's
he
good.
that's the very
That's good.
very little. You know what I'm saying? But I'll definitely
That's good.
I'll send you his information and his number and all that because I want y'all to
Definitely,
link up and
definitely,
chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
definitely,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure. We
Hey,
definitely keep in
Scorpio,
touch. Chop it up.
I tell you this, brother. If it wasn't for my businesses, I wouldn't have social media even, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even, people be like, why you ain't got no picture on your page for what? You know what I'm saying? My personal business is not to be put out on social media.
Right.
Or to be
So,
profiled by the image that you think or what you think who I am. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
that's
Right.
peace.
Meet me
That's
in the
peace.
flesh and
That's
then we
peace.
see what's up.
That's
Right.
peace, bro. That's
Hey,
peace. That's
right.
peace. For
Hey,
sure.
leave
So.
it to me. I'm a poster. Goddamn, they gonna find out one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For
Like,
sure.
hey
For
man,
sure.
I love y'all brothers, man. I appreciate, man, Sci-Fi Dre. I
Peace.
appreciate you, brother, man. You are awesome. I
For
mean,
sure,
bro, you
man.
touched
Most
on
definitely
so
is. Most
many
definitely is
different,
a pleasure meeting you.
man.
I
Definitely,
say,
bro.
I say.
you touched on
I say,
so many different topics tonight, brother. You know what I'm saying? And like I
I
said, man,
say,
Scorpion King, we appreciate you. Scorpion King, I appreciate you coming through, man, joining me, you know what I'm saying, as my guest host, bro. You know, you always welcome. You already know we talk every day anyway, you know what I'm saying? Sci-fi, anytime you want to come back, I got a couple more topics, man, and more questions I want to ask, like I said prior, but
okay.
we'll set some up when you get some free time and we'll get that together. But like I always do on either show, bro, I'm gonna give you the last word, family.
Hey man, peace, love, light, and blessings, man. Just telling y'all like this, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Was very thankful to be able to share whatever is given to me to share to others. You know what I'm saying? It's all about elevation. You know what I'm saying? If I'm ever put in a position to be able to help another person elevate, that's what it's all about, man. Mind over matter, mind elevation. Peace, blessing, and light, man. Y'all travel light.
Yes, sir. And we love y'all, man. Peace.
Peace
Peace,
and
peace.
love.
Peace and love.
All right.